Hi there, trailer owners. Today we're going to be taking a look at Etrailer's replacement fenders. These are available in a teardrop design. The sizes do vary, so you will want to make sure to refer to the product page to get the exact measurements on the ones you're looking at and match those up with the size that match up with your trailer. I've got two of them here so you can take a look at. This one here is one that we've already painted, and this is what you're going to receive when you get it right out of the box with the raw finish. But if you don't need or want to paint, there is a stainless steel option available. These Tandem-Axle teardrop style fenders are going to make a great replacement for old damaged fenders, whether it be just due to rust and corrosion on your old ones, you got some holes in them, or maybe you had a blowout and your old fender got caught up and ripped off, which is what happened to our previous customer here that we were working on. We also have straight fenders available here at Etrailer, but the teardrop design here, to me, gives it just a nicer look. It helps fill in that gap so you see the wheels, gives it a cleaner look, and I've kind of found that it seems to stiffen up the fender a little bit. The straight style seem to have a little bit more flex in the middle versus the teardrop. The fender is constructed of a 16 gauge cold rolled steel, and that's about a 1/16 of an inch when you're looking at it and taking a ruler and measuring it. And that makes it plenty sturdy. I can even sit on it up here. Now, I don't recommend that you put a lot of weight on it. You probably shouldn't use this as a step, but you can see here if you're just gonna take a rest for a quick second, it can easily support some weight. I'm pretty close to 200 pounds, and it barely even seems to flex with me on it. And this is a great replacement regardless of the type of trailer you have. If you have a tandem axle and the wheel sizes fit this fender, whether it's a boat trailer, utility trailer, enclosed trailer such as this, it's going to look great on the trailer. It's going to give you good coverage over your tire and act as a splash shield to keep debris from flinging up on your trailer as well as on passing cars. Now, if you ordered the raw finish option, it's going to be shipped to you like this. It does have a very thin coating of oil on it to help protect against corrosion, but it is pretty thin, and the original ones that we got here, when we first pulled them out of the box, there was a little bit of surface rust on it. After you've got it cleaned up, we're going to put some self-etching primer on it, and then we used flat black paint to finish it off. These can either be bolted on or welded on. We're going to install ours with some self-tapping screws and just bolt it on, and that's the most common way, unless you're a welder out there, that these are going to be installed. If you follow along with us, we'll show you how to get it lined up and get those running. So here we've got our trailer. Our customer, when driving it home, recently had a blowout. He's already replaced the tire, but when it blew out, it did rip his fender off. The fenders are typically just held on by self-tapping screws, and you can see here we're along the seam where one ripped out there. There's one further down, and also down the other side. There was a total of 4 bolts that were holding this in, and these are just self-tapping screws, and they line up with the support beams that run up the sides of the trailer. Our new fender here, we're going to be attaching to the support beams in similar locations. We're not going to be using the same holes, as we don't trust the integrity of those since of the previous damage. And also our new fender is slightly smaller than the original one, so it's not going to come down as far. So we're actually going to be lowering ours down just a little bit, so that way we get full coverage down on the bottom and front and back of our wheels on the bottom of our trailer. Now, you can get yourself an extra set of hands, but I found it easiest if you just lift the fender. We're going to set it up on the tires like this, kind of get it centered up, and then we're going to use floor jacks on each side to just lift it up to get us at the correct height. This is just going to make things easier. It'll hold it in place. You could also use some blocks of wood if you happen to have them cut the right way, but with a jack on each side, we can easily get it leveled out to match our trailer and to the right height we want to set it at. So now that we've got the height where we want it, we went ahead and centered it forward to backward to get the same gap at the front and the rear, and we're also trying to line up those with the support beams that run up so that way we can put our hardware in. So now we're just going to press it back up against the trailer. We're going to grab a self-tapping screw. So we're just going to line up our self-tapper onto our fender and then just run it right in. Now, your self-tapping screws, you can either reuse your old ones if you have those, or if not, you can purchase new ones. They do not come with the fenders. Now that we've got the one end, we're going to repeat that each of the support beams. I like to start at the center and work my way out. So if you have the fender flares here, if they don't quite line up, you can kind of pull or push them to make them line up with the support beam. So now we're going to put in these ones here. To get ours to line up, you can see it was a little further forward. We're just going to pull out slightly on the fender, and that'll be enough to get us to get this run into the beam. Now that we've got this one installed, we can perform the exact same procedures over on the other side to get that one installed. If you have a fender that's still installed on there, then to remove it, it's just self-tapping screws, put your gun in reverse, take those out, and the fender just comes right off. And that completes our look at Etrailer's replacement teardrop style fenders for tandem axle trailers.